In a recent survey, 1,000 American men were asked about the greatest love of their life. The top answer was a tie. They either said their wives or their trucks. Pickup trucks have been an iconic part of the American landscape for generations, and for many, they're much more than just a mode of transportation. They embody the rugged, adventurous spirit of the American people. They're the modern-day workhorses, replacing the, well, workhorse. It's true. A cowboy needed a horse to ride through rugged terrain, and today, it's a pickup truck. True story. There's a competition every year in Texas where a bunch of people gather around and put their hands on a hard-body truck, and the last one to take their hands off the truck wins the truck. And people will stand there for over 100 hours. That's how bad they want a pickup truck. 5 of the top 10 vehicles sold in the U.S. last year were pickup trucks. The Ford F-150 is the #1 top-selling vehicle of all time. Why do people write songs about their truck, name their truck, and get tattoos about their truck? On the one hand, I think the answer is obvious, but on the other, it's complicated. So in this video, I'm going to try to answer the question, why do we Americans love our pickup trucks? Now, I'm not going to bore you with a history lesson, but in 1917, when Henry Ford took a couple of planks of wood and put it on his Model T and called it the Model TT, he was making his first truck. He said it was mostly for those humble folks in the field who needed to haul things. A year later, in 1918, Chevrolet had a pickup too. But trucks didn't really connect with Americans in a bigger way until after the OPEC oil embargo of 1973, when there was a gasoline shortage, because that was the first time that anyone really thought about getting good gas mileage. Here's what happened. When the government passed the 1975 Energy Policy and Conservation Act, the car companies had to change their ways for better fuel economy, and they started making smaller cars. But here's the thing, it didn't apply to trucks. And so, for a 5-year period in the late 70s, if you wanted a big car, you got a pickup. Now, they did start to increase the standards eventually. In 1980, the law started to apply to light trucks up to 6,000 pounds, and in 1981, 8,500 pounds. But by then, the oil crisis was over, and the trend of the average American car buyer was moving back to getting a bigger vehicle. And as we move back to bigger, trucks were seen as an attractive option. They were more durable, meant to last longer, more practical, easier to repair, and they depreciated less than a car. In general, there was a sense for many that trucks were a better option than a car. Plus, it made men look good. According to a poll by Insure, an independent consumer insurance website, it found that women think attractive men are most likely to be driving a pickup truck. The survey asked 2,000 women what type, brand, and color of vehicle is driven by the most fetching member of the opposite sex. Ladies reported that desirable men are more likely to be driving, specifically, a black Ford truck. So there's that. Now, one more important thing. In 1994, Dodge redesigned their truck to have more of a big rig cab design. And as a result of this new design, sales doubled, and then 2 years later, quadrupled. And this is seen as the beginning of the modern-day pickup. So as sedan sales declined and people opted for larger vehicles, they had a choice between an SUV, a minivan, or a pickup. What do you think many people picked? And truck makers responded to public demand by making their pickups more appealing. They got bigger, faster, more comfortable, and more options. But this is all pickup truck history, and it doesn't answer the question, why do we Americans love our trucks? Need to transport heavy machinery to a job site? Need to haul a load of furniture across town? Going camping with the family? Pickup trucks are the ultimate tool for versatility, and their potential is limited only by your imagination. With a pickup truck at your disposal, you have the freedom to tackle any task or journey with ease, and you have an asset that people are willing to pay for. Are you starting your own local business? What kind of vehicle are you going to drive? How are you going to carry all your gear? What vehicle says that you're a professional with your handiwork and a knowledgeable entrepreneur? Also, forget the job site. Pickups come in handy in lots of ways. In 2016, a group of hunters in Alaska were stranded on a remote riverbank after their boat capsized. Fortunately, they had a pickup truck with them and were able to use it to tow their capsized boat to safety. In Texas, a group of volunteers used their pickup trucks to rescue hundreds of animals during the devastating floods caused by Hurricane Harvey. These pickups were able to navigate through flooded streets and reach areas that were inaccessible to other vehicles. And let's not forget about the role of pickup trucks in agriculture and farming. In 2018, a farmer in North Carolina used his pickup truck to rescue a group of cows that were stranded in a flooded field. He was able to drive his truck through waist-deep water and guide the cows to safety. But making money isn't the only answer. It doesn't explain why we love our pickups. It's true, pickups are beasts, designed to handle even the toughest jobs. Take the 2021 Ram 1500 TRX, for example. This monster comes with a supercharged 6.2-liter V8 engine that produces a jaw-dropping 702 horsepower, making it the most powerful production pickup truck ever made. To put this into perspective, the engine generates more power than 35 average-sized cars combined. And when it comes to towing and hauling, these trucks are in a league of their own. The 2021 Ford F150 can tow up to 14,000 pounds, or for a comparison, 2 school buses at the same time. The 2021 Chevy Silverado has such an advanced suspension system that it can absorb impact equivalent to a car hitting a speed bump at 50 miles an hour without even causing a jolt to the passengers inside. And it's not just sheer power and capabilities. These trucks are also designed to handle any driving situation with ease. With advanced suspension systems, powerful brakes, and aerodynamic systems that have truly raised the bar, the 2021 Toyota Tundra reduces wind resistance to such an extent that it could save you enough fuel to travel from New York to Los Angeles on a single tank of gas. And let's not forget about the impressive braking power of the GMC Sierra, which can bring the truck to a complete stop from 60 miles an hour in just 130 feet, less than the length of a bowling lane. With features like these, it's no wonder why pickup trucks have become the preferred choice for drivers who demand the best in performance and technology. But hell, every commercial shows the power of a pickup truck, but they also show the power of OxyClean, and I don't love that. So why do we Americans love our trucks? I asked several young men why they purchased a truck, and the answer was that it was their hope to model themselves after their father and their grandfather, who likely provided for their families by working manly jobs. Jobs that were hands-on and that required brawn and tools and craftsmanship and gear and guts. A truck is a beautiful thing. It's simple and useful, like our dads and granddads were. Trucks are tough, sturdy, and reliable. Sure, they get poor gas mileage and the ride is bumpy, but when the weather gets bad or you need a tow, a haul, or to pull something, there's no better vehicle. They exude power, confidence, and masculinity. But also trucks represent a sense of community and belonging. They bring people together, whether it's tailgating at a football game or a meeting in your driveway. And owning a pickup truck is like being part of an exclusive club where everyone shares a common love and appreciation for these magnificent machines. And yeah, there's something to be said about the image of the hero driving the truck, you know, a tough guy who's a man of action, not words. After all, trucks say alpha male without having to say it. Also, a suburban man can vicariously live through a truck. He sees himself cutting and hauling wood on autumn days. He dreams of pulling strangers' vehicles out of ruts along country roads. He expects to become a hunter one day and drives deep into the woods, across brooks and over rocks, in search of a big buck. Not that it's going to happen. But hey, buying that truck gives you the dream that you can. Nonetheless, you can go wherever you want in a truck. Do what you want in a truck. Basically, it's the definition of freedom. But I think there's something more. One more thing. Something bigger, something deeper. I think I know the reason why we love our trucks. I started this video talking about how a cowboy has his horse, and today we have our pickup. And like a cowboy, There's an emotional connection as it relates to his horse, and I think that same thing is true with a truck. We can have an emotional connection to our truck. And it's also a statement of our identity. A cowboy is not a cowboy without his horse. Are we truly men without our trucks? Trucks are our family members. Trucks are for the best of the best. And trucks are a hope for the future. Trucks are pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get it done. No complaining. Trucks are America. And I love America. I'll leave it at that. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And hit the bell icon so you'll be alerted of new video releases. And if you want to keep going on trucks, check out this video on the highs and lows of the big rig trucking life that you can watch right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.